Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Bill Capuzzi, CEO of Apex Clearing, to discuss how you can become an agent for change and racial equality in finance with Fintech in action in an effort to build a more diverse and inclusive workforce. Bill, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Great to see you, Jill. Thanks for having me.
Bill, tell us more about Fintech in action.
Look, lots of change in our country this year. Spurred on a number of months ago by some of the actions in the Midwest. One of the things, Apex is part of Peak 6. We have a long kind of history of kind of leaning in terms of driving diversity. We are minority owned as a company. We spent a lot of time over the last number of years leaning in terms of driving women into finance. This is following that same premise, right? The concept behind Fintech in Action is for Black inclusion in the financial industry. And it's a place where, look, we need to drive change. When you look at the number of Black employees across the financial services industry, it's not representative of the diversity in our country. And so the focus for Fintech in Action is really around the pipeline, the top of the funnel, right? How can we drive more students coming out of college and frankly out of high school into the, to be involved, to be interested in financial services, and ultimately get them into internships within the financial services industry.
How can people and corporations get involved, as you said, the top of the funnel, to diversify their workforces and opportunities? It's one thing to be involved in a social movement. It's one thing to put money towards a cause, but to physically change your infrastructure and be a part of it. What can I do to get involved with Fintech in Action?
Yeah, so we started Fintech in Action now almost 2 months ago. And the premise is to create this coalition of firms across financial services industry with a sole focus of creating an opportunity for those internships into these companies. And so it's real easy, right? You can go on our website, www.apexclearing.com, sign up to be a coalition member. And the only thing we ask for is that, A, you have a voice, B, that you're positioned to drive change within your organization, and most importantly, that you take an intern, right? And Fintech in Action, we've raised almost $2 million so far in the last couple of months. And the premise behind us raising money is to make sure that money's not a reason somebody can't take an intern. And so get on the website, come to apexclearing.com, real easy to sign up. And again, the premise, the drive is to make sure that we can create opportunities for Black and brown students to come into the financial services industry.
And Bill, to wrap up here, you work for a minority-owned company. You've been instrumental in bringing women into the financial workforce. What does a more diversified workforce bring to the table?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, just think about, the boardrooms in the United States today are predominantly white male. When we think about a well-oiled machine, and I think about Peak 6, so Peak 6 is run by a husband and wife team, Jenny Just, Matt Holsizer, and I've been part of many organizations, just taking the lead in terms of how they run their organization and the diversity that they have within their leadership team. It just creates better zen, so to speak, right? It creates a better within the boardroom, different viewpoints, different perspectives, which ultimately will drive better profitability for the companies.
All right, Bill, thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks.
Bill, great to see you. Thanks for having me.
You got it. And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.